Hey there, and welcome to The Explainer. I am so incredibly excited you're here. Today, I'm going to be your mentor as we make a massive shift. We are going from simply being a user to actually being a builder. We're going to dive into a beginner's guide to vibe coding your very own AI apps. By the time we're done, you're going to know exactly how to build custom tools for yourself, all without writing a single line of code.
So think about a project you're working on right this second. Have you ever felt like you're just stuck on autopilot, doing the exact same tedious stuff over and over? Maybe you've got this incredibly annoying chore you have to do every single week. Something like resizing 20 different images for a monthly newsletter, renaming a massive folder of files one by one just to match some team format, or copying and pasting data from one spreadsheet into another. You probably sit there thinking, man, I really wish there was an app for this. Well, what if I told you that you could just build that perfectly personalized app yourself in the time it takes to drink a cup of coffee?
Okay, so how do we actually pick the right chore to automate? Well, Amar, the product and design lead over at Google AI Studio, has this seriously brilliant, super simple 4-question framework to figure exactly that out. First off, does the task solve a specific pain point? Second, can you outline a clear step-by-step process for it? Third, does it have consistent inputs and outputs? And fourth, is the overall complexity relatively low? If you can nod your head and answer yes to these, you've just found the absolute perfect candidate for your first custom app.
All right, the million-dollar question. How are we actually going to build this thing if we don't know how to code? Enter a brand new concept called vibe coding. Now, please don't let that name scare you off. Vibe coding simply means you're using everyday, natural language to build software. You literally just describe the exact workflow you need, the layout you're picturing in your head, and the overall vibe or feeling of what you're trying to achieve. You are basically just sitting down and having a collaborative back-and-forth conversation with the AI, brainstorming together and guiding it to build the tool for you.
Now, the absolute magic engine running behind the scenes here, it's called Agentic AI. And this is totally different from just getting a text answer back from a chatbot. The crucial point is that Agentic AI actually takes action on your behalf. While you're typing out your plain English instructions, the Agentic AI is doing all the technical heavy lifting. It's writing the code, it's building the user interface, it's making sure all the gears turn smoothly. But, and this is a big but, it only does this under your direct supervision.
This brings us to a really massive mindset shift you've got to make today. Like Amar says, you are the director, the user, and the tester of your app. You aren't helpless anymore. You are officially sitting in the director's chair. Think of the AI as your eager new developer, and your job is to give it clear, firm direction. If the app it builds doesn't look right, you just tell it to change the design. If it's missing a feature you need, you simply ask it to add one.
And you know what? This new collaborative mindset totally flips problem solving on its head. In the old days of coding, if you hit a giant wall of red error text, it was, well, completely demoralizing. You'd probably just throw your hands up and quit. But with vibe coding, hitting an error is literally just part of the brainstorm. If the app breaks, the AI platform will often just hand you an autofix button. Or you can just copy and paste all that technical error jargon right back to the AI and say, hey, this broke, please fix it. Trial and error is no longer a roadblock at all. It's just part of the conversation.
But to be a really good director, you've got to master a few best practices. Because look, vague directions are going to give you vague, boring results. You have to be highly specific, describe your exact needs, detail every single step of your workflow, and, this is a pro tip, even tell the AI what you do not want to see, so it clearly understands the difference between a good result and a bad one. The more precise you are with your words, the better your final app is going to be.
All right, let's look at how this actually plays out in the real world. Our first example is an app called The Tiebreaker. We have all been totally paralyzed by a tough business decision at some point, right? Sometimes a simple pros and cons list just doesn't cut it. Maybe you really need a SWOT analysis or a direct comparison table. So using Google AI Studio, a prompt was typed in asking the AI to build an app called The Tiebreaker. The goal was to build a tool that takes a really tough decision as an input and then offers up various, highly structured ways to analyze it. And wow, just look at what the AI whipped up. When a real complex dilemma was put in, like, hey, should I offer my software as a free tier or just jump straight to a $20 a month plan? The custom app instantly generated a totally personalized analysis. It actually weighed the broader market reach of a free tier against the very real downside of increased infrastructure and support costs. It even built a tailored comparison table right there on the screen, all powered by the AI that was embedded inside the new app. Now, full transparency here. While they were building that exact app, the creator clicked a button to add that comparison table, and the whole thing just broke. It completely stopped working. So, what happens then? Do you panic? Do you need to go get a computer science degree real quick? No way. The AI studio caught the error, displayed a bunch of confusing technical jargon, and the user literally just clicked a button that said autofix. The AI read its own error, thought through the problem, and instantly rewrote the code to fix it on the spot. It's really that simple.
Okay, let's step things up a notch. Example number 2 is the marketing materials generator. Imagine you have this brilliant idea for a product, but you really need to convince your team by showing them what it would actually look like out in the real world. This specific app is designed to bridge the gap between having a single rough concept and generating a full, multi-channel real-world campaign. What I really want you to notice here is how assertive the instructions were when directing the AI. The prompt actually demanded product consistency across all these different mockups, like billboards and newspapers. It explicitly said, do not include people, because the creator only wanted to focus on the product itself. And it even commanded the AI to only use one specific image model, the Gemini 2.5 Flash. This proves that you are truly the boss in this relationship. You set the boundaries.
All right, moving on to our third example. And honestly, this one solves a huge universal pain point. Are you just totally exhausted by bringing a perfectly crafted static chart into a meeting, only for your boss to immediately ask, can we filter this by last month instead? Or actually, can I see this as a line graph? Boom, your static chart is dead on arrival the very second a follow-up question is asked.
Usually you're starting with something pretty dry, right? A flat, boring CSV file of sales data. Just endless rows showing that premium trousers made $5,000 in the North region, while cotton shirts made $3,200 in the South. In the past, turning this raw data into a flexible presentation meant spending hours and hours wrestling with spreadsheet software. But now, with vibe coding, you literally just upload that raw, flat CSV file directly into AI Studio and just casually ask it to build you a tool to visualize it. And this right here is where Agentic AI just blows my mind. Literally within seconds, the AI takes that flat, boring text and turns it into a fully functional, interactive dashboard. We're talking dynamic pie charts, line charts, and auto-generated drop-down filters that the user didn't even specifically ask for. Now, when someone in your meeting asks to isolate the data just for premium tailored trousers, you just click a filter and the entire dashboard updates instantly. You're no longer just looking at data visualization. You've built a tool for interactive data exploration. But wait, what if you look at that new dashboard and think, I don't really love those colors, the layout's a bit weird? This brings us to what is easily the coolest visual feature in AI Studio, the Annotate tool. If you want to change the design of the app you just built, you don't have to guess how to describe it perfectly in text. You can literally just draw directly on the screen. The absolute best part is how wildly intuitive this is. You just click the Annotate button, draw a literal box right over the specific user interface elements you want to tweak, and type a super quick comment like, make these KPI cards white. The AI looks at your drawing, understands exactly which parts of the screen you're pointing to, and rewrites the underlying code to update the design instantly. It is literally visual refinement through conversation. Let's wrap up the examples with one final, super relatable one, the meeting agenda creator. If you are someone who is constantly stuck in back-to-back meetings, you know it is nearly impossible to find the time to draft proper, detailed agendas for the next call. It's a very high-friction but low-complexity problem, which means it is absolutely perfect for a custom, vibe-coded app. By prompting the AI to take in any document you throw at it, like, say, a messy project outline in a Word doc, this custom app instantly builds out a perfect agenda. You just tell the app, hey, I have a 30-minute meeting, and it auto-generates topic summaries, lists out action items, assigns stakeholders to every task, and even breaks down the precise time lengths for each section so you actually stay on schedule. With just one prompt, a major daily headache is completely solved. Now, before I set you loose to share these awesome new tools with your coworkers, I've got to put my mentor hat back on for a second. Let's talk about responsible app building. First, you always have to check the AI's work. AI models can definitely hallucinate or sound overly confident about incorrect data, so verify it. Second, if the AI starts adding crazy features you didn't ask for, rein it in and tell it strictly not to over-engineer. And finally, this is a big one. Never include sensitive, confidential company information when you are building or testing these apps. Safety first, right? So, we've covered a lot of ground today. You know how to spot the right tasks, how to actually talk to the AI, how to handle those pesky errors without panicking, and how to upload flat data to create really dynamic, interactive tools. You've seen the shift from being a frustrated user to an empowered builder. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought.
Now that you know the vibe and you fully realize you don't need to know a single line of code to build software, what specific annoying workflow problem are you going to solve today? Get out there and start building.